In the 18th century, the Mediterranean was still a stage for empire, a sea of trade, war, and ambition. Across its blue waters sailed the great fleets of Europe, the mighty ships of Britain, France, and Spain, floating fortresses that ruled the waves. But on the southern shores, in the port of Algiers, something extraordinary was taking shape, a project so ambitious that it challenged everything Europe believed about North Africa's maritime power, a ship of the line, built not in a French, British, or a Spanish dockyard, but in Algiers. By the early 1700s, the Barbary states, Algiers, Tunis, and Tripoli, had long struck fear into the hearts of European sailors. Their corsairs, swift, daring raiders, had turned the Mediterranean into a battleground of trade and tribute. Yet, by the 18th century, their power seemed to wane. The age of sail had changed naval warfare. Massive ships with dozens of cannons fought in rigid formations the line of battle, a word far removed from the fast and agile tactics of the corsairs. Historians often tell us that the Barbary states never entered that world, that they clung to light frigates and shipwrights, the small, fast vessels of irregular warfare, that they could not or would not build the heavy ships that symbolized naval might. To understand what that means, we need to look at how ships were ranked in the age of sail. Warships were classified by the number of guns they carried, from sixth-rate light frigates all the way up to the colossal first-rates that bore more than 100. Only the top three, first, second, and third-rate ships, were true ships of the line. These were the giants of naval warfare, the backbone of every great power's fleet. To build one was no small feat. It required not only wealth, but also advanced shipyards, master shipwrights, and access to the best materials the world could offer. And yet, in 1729, reports began to circulate that Algiers was building such a ship, a 70-gun, two-deck warship, a third-rate ship of the line. The first reports came from Antoine Gabriel Durand, the French consul in Algiers. He wrote that the day the ruler of the Regency had ordered the construction of a 70-gun warship with a keel of 126 feet. Other diplomats confirmed it. In 1730, the Swedish consul George Logie noted that 4 new large ships were being built, one of them a 74-gun ship of the line. It was a remarkable revelation. Algiers, long portrayed as a den of pirates, was now building a vessel that rivaled the warships of the great European powers. But there was a problem. While the Algerians had shipwrights skilled in crafting swift frigates and shipwrecks, the rigging and masting of such a large warship demanded materials and expertise not easily found on the Barbary coast. So Algiers turned outward to Europe. The Dutch, bound by treaties and trade, supplied the day with masts, anchors, cables, and pumps for the massive vessel. By mid-1730, shipments had arrived, towering masts, 6 massive anchors, and chain pumps of the newest design. For 2 years, little was heard of the mysterious ship. Then in 1732, Algiers faced a crisis. Spain had invaded the coastal Algerian city of Oran. To respond, Algiers gathered a great fleet, arguably one of the largest in its history. 9 men of war carrying more than 400 cannons under the command of Admiral Hassan Reis. At its head, the new 70-gun ship of the line. When the fleet appeared off Oran in November 1732, it was a sight unseen for generations. An Algerian squadron in full battle array. For days, the ships enforced a blockade, harassing Spanish transports and bombarding coastal forts. But Spain would not allow this change to go unanswered. The king dispatched 6 ships of the line, including some of the most powerful vessels in the Spanish Navy, to crush the Algerian fleet. They were commanded by Don Blas de Lezo, a veteran of countless wars. Against such firepower, the Algerians could not hold the line. Their ships were built for speed and striking, not for the grueling head-on duels of the line of battle. The squadron was forced to withdraw, its daring attempt at conventional warfare cut short. Yet the story of Algiers' ship of the line did not end there. A new mission awaited her, one that would take her far beyond the shores of the Maghreb. In December 1732, the Dey ordered her to sail east, commanding a small flotilla bound for the Levant. Her mission to bring back reinforcements from Anatolia. For months, the voyage went as planned. By the spring of 1733, the Algerian admiral had recruited thousands of volunteers and was joined by 3 Ottoman warships, including another 70-gun ship-of-the-line. But fate intervened. On the voyage home, a violent southeast wind struck the squadron. The storm tore through the eastern Mediterranean, forcing the ships toward the jagged coast near Izmir. Amid towering waves and blinding spray, the Algerian flagship, the 70-gun ship-of-the-line, was lost to the sea. Along her sank a 40-gun warship and the Ottoman 70-gunner that had joined the expedition. Hundreds of sailors perished. It was one of the greatest maritime disasters in the history of the Regency. The surviving ships limped home to Algiers. The mighty warship, built with ambition and pride, would never be seen again. In the aftermath, Algiers wasted no time. A new keel was laid, this time for a 60-gun heavy frigate. But the age of Barbary shipbuilding had begun to fade. Still, the story of that ship, forgotten to the archives, reminds us of something profound, that the so-called corsairs of the Barbary coast were not mere raiders, but part of a complex maritime world, one capable of ambition, innovation, and mastery. For what reason did Algiers build the ship-of-the-line? The truth is, we don't know, but this forgotten story might just change the way we see the Barbary Corsairs. In an era when European historians wrote the Mediterranean story as a tale of empires and colonizers, the ship-of-the-line of Algiers stood as a fleeting symbol of defiance, proof that the South, too, could build giants to sail among them. And though the waves claimed her, her memory remains afloat, a testament to a chapter of naval history that deserves more research and examination. Thank you for watching, and salam.